What's going on, guys? So it is really crucial for people, children in particular, to learn about species of our ocean. Here's why. The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet and is home to a staggering diversity of life, from the tiniest plankton to the largest whales. By learning about these species, children gain a deeper appreciation for the natural world and the delicate balance of our ecosystem. And as someone famous once said, before somebody will want to save a species, first they must love it. And before they love a species, first they must know it exists in the first place. Understanding marine life fosters a sense of wonder and curiosity, encouraging kids to ask questions and seek knowledge. This curiosity can spark a lifelong interest in science, leading to careers in marine biology, conservation, environmental science, or the dive industry. Every month we get messages on Instagram or Facebook or emails from kids saying that because of our underwater footage that we post on our various platforms, we showed them something that they never even knew existed, and that it also helped them decide on a major, and they will now be studying marine biology or something similar in university. When people say that because of getting into diving or by just watching our videos, they were able to discover species they never seen before, I get a great sense of accomplishment. In my opinion, there's not nearly enough content out there about marine life in general, and it's my purpose to change that. So what do I mean by that? If you're curious about lions or elephants or giraffes, there's countless shows and documentaries on YouTube and Netflix and every other network in the world where you can get that content and watch documentaries and all kinds of shows. Even some of the popular ocean creatures are covered heavily, such as whales and sharks and dolphins. You know what I mean. But when was the last time you saw a show about a frogfish? Or how about these ultra tiny skeleton shrimp? I can go on all day. I think you know my point. By and large, the ocean is generally unknown by most people. These are just a tiny fraction of the rare species that most people have never heard of, yet we can find every day here in the Philippines. So when Colt showed up, an 11-year-old who's already passionate about critters on land, such as lizards and snakes, I knew it was highly probable that if I showed him some crazy cool species underwater, he would probably get just as addicted to critter hunting as I am. And by the way, if you didn't know, Colt and his family, they have a few different YouTube channels. I'll put the links down below. It's Live in the Philippines, it's Always Be Changing, and now Colt has his own YouTube called Colt in the Wild, where he goes out finding lizards and whatever little critters he can. I think this is going to be a good transition where we show him some underwater critters and see how that passion blossoms. Anyways, I'll put their channels and the links down below. So as soon as him and his dad flew in, I got them to the resort and got them geared up to dive. The problem is he's never been scuba diving and isn't certified, so we headed to the pool for a proper introduction. After an hour or two of doing a DSD, or tri-dive, where we practiced breathing underwater and a few other essential skills, he was ready for his first guided ocean dive. So we went. Colt was a natural on his first day, both in the pool and the ocean, so I knew he was ready for the next day when we'd be heading to Apple Island to do 3 different dives and discover a lot more. Now, there are certain things that all instructors or influencers or ocean ambassadors should instill on their students' minds. Of course, first and foremost is a new diver's safety. And to maximize that, it is required to become comfortable underwater and practice complete buoyancy control and other underwater skills. The second thing we teach is to respect the marine environment. One cannot have a positive impact on our world if they do more harm than good. So we spent our dives practicing so that he can be able to maintain his levels, always having perfect buoyancy control. And eventually he got better and better on each dive, and I was able to feel comfortable enough to let him have a little bit more freedoms and not always be arm length away the whole dive. But all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, as they say. So of course, we spent plenty of time doing some critter hunting. We ran into massive turtles sleeping in the reef, and Colt did an awesome job keeping his distance so as not to accidentally disturb them, while still being able to observe. We ran into countless clownfish, of course, with them and their anemones everywhere we look. This isn't the case with all our students, of course, but Colt was already comfortable enough that he was pointing out critters to me, actually. So that was kind of cool. Luckily, we had a photographer with us, and I didn't have to do that. I could just relax and have a fun dive with Colt and Phil. And it brought back a lot of memories. I got to see him excited as a new diver, and it made me remember when I was a new diver and every little fish I saw was brand new and fascinating. It just brought back a lot of great memories. How was the dive?
It was amazing. It was super pretty with all the coral, and I got to see a sea snake, which is one of my key things that I wanted to see on this trip.
How about the turtles? Big ones?
The turtles were huge. So like
yeah, they're bigger than you.
Yeah.
They probably weigh like 3 times what you. Luckily, they weren't hungry.
Probably more.
Luckily, they weren't hungry. You'd be bald right now.
That's Kevin.
Oh, nice shirt, buddy.
I know, it's great.
So, this week we got to see turtles, pufferfish, even some sea snakes. So, on his channel, Colt in the Wild, I'll put the link down below. He goes out running around in Philippines searching for geckos, tuco, any kind of lizards or reptiles, right? So I wanted him to show him my world, where we're also critter finders, but in the ocean. So of course we had to show him the reptiles of the ocean. We found turtles and snakes, right? And then what else? What did you have a favorite?
I mean, everything was super cool, but the sea snake had to have been my favorite.
Yeah.
Reptiles in the ocean. It's one of the only reptiles you can find in the ocean.
Yeah. And then you were pointing out like pufferfish and lizardfish and all sorts of weird stuff.
Lizardfish?
We found all those skeleton shrimp. It was a good time. I'm glad we got to show you diving. You think you're gonna keep it up?
Yes. This was one of my favorite days of my entire life. Favorite trips.
Awesome. So he's gonna come back. Shout out to his dad Phil for bringing him and showing him, opening him up to this world like somebody did for me a long time ago, and just really broaden my horizons, what's out there. They're gonna come back hopefully this year and get a full certification, and then he can dive anywhere in the world and just keep hunting for every kind of critter there is. So thank you guys for watching, and check out his channel. He's doing critter hunting in the Philippines as well. So see you later.
See you, Colt. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.